I've always not cared about coming out the traditional way, the way you guys did. As for family, I am not out or in on family in any way you want to look at it. It's just me living. Whether or not you know is your problem. Same way with my friends. So you don't have to accept me, just respect me.
And in the words of Dominic Jackson, right, I'm not here to be tolerated by you. I know that you have sometimes. I am here to take up space and you will respect me.
Yeah.
So how come you say you're a deal? I mean, anybody would assume that you're out there.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
deal.
I mean, you're
like
constantly
it's
there.
like when I say I'm deal, I mean that like I'm embarrassed by men, so I will never be connected with any man. I do not want to be associated with any man publicly. So all those men are like, oh, they're trying to protect that. I'm trying to protect my image. You're not good for my brand.
You're saving the brand.
you are not good for my brand.
I think that's
Totally understandable.
I think that's some sort
I'll
of
take that lead
self-preservation.
from you.
Yeah. Okay, guys, right now, who here is out?
This one is out.
Okay.
Very.
Elena,
Per.
DL,
I'm
you.
just leaving. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just there. I'm just alive. I'm taking life just
Okay.
like that. So whether or not you think I'm out, that's a problem.
Half out.
What does
Deal
that mean?
representation here. What do you mean by out?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Those that know, I mean, like, people know, but not my parents. I feel like other people know. It's just my parents that, I mean,
Right.
Family.
Like your
Some
tribe
family members
people
know.
that know, right?
but like, not my parents.
So there's a system about if family know it. People will say mothers always know. They just live in denial.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think
no,
that's the case.
always
I
know.
think
Okay,
that's the case.
so
Yeah.
hi everyone, welcome to Convos. Today we are going to be talking about coming out to family and friends. So we have people that have done that here, but let's introduce them first.
Hi, Vincent Desmond, perpetually out.
Hi, Helena Nelson. Almost recently out. I'm proud.
Liber, she, they,
Deal
DL,
Deal.
queen.
CJ Bomber confused.
And I'm Tammy, so like,
Half out, bisexual out.
bisexual out. So like, how did you do it? Tell us.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Take us back.
My coming out was crazy. So I think the story I like to say when I talk about coming out is coming out to my mom in particular, because I mean I think before that I come out to all my friends, even online, everybody knew, and I still think my mom. I'm very sure my mom knew, but I wanted to give her the honor of having a very direct conversation with her, like, oh, this situation. So I kind of went through the conversation with the hope and mindset that she would be accepted. We had a great relationship. She was very like open to the idea of homosexuality. She would watch shows and she was just not violently homophobic the way a lot of Nigerians were. Yeah. So I just really entered the conversation with a lot of maybe too much faith, maybe too much hope. And then right after I finished, I sat her down. I told her, "Oh yeah, here I'm gay and stuff." I think the very next thing that came out of her mouth was something along the lines of, "Oh, it's fixable." Was it along the line? And
Solution oriented.
Exactly. I mean, yes. So she started giving examples of, I guess, pastors that she knew that were gay and we're still married, and it was just very much quick to the solution, the way forward. How are we going to handle you being gay and still, Yeah, and so I think there was just something about that that just really pissed me off. Maybe it was the too much hope or expectations. And I think I reacted, and then she reacted, and next thing I know, the conversation was going to "I'll call police for you," and me being stubborn, so I was like, okay, you know what, fuck this, I moved out of the house. It just became a back and forth. I think I live tweeted the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing was happening, and I think it really destroyed my relationship with my mom. And not long after that, I moved from Port Harcourt to Lagos, and maybe 2 years later, my mom and I started working towards it. But yeah.
Elena, you are also.
Okay, so I think like my mom always kind of knew that I liked women, but she didn't want to accept it because I'm an only child, and the idea of me getting married, having kids is still novelty for her. So I did try to date men like exclusively after university, like during university, after university, and then after some time, I moved to Lagos and I was now out 2017. So that period, I wasn't really talking to her because of some other personal issues that didn't have anything to do with my being queer. And then she came to visit me in Lagos and I told her that I was queer, like I was bisexual. I like women and I like men. And she cried. She refused to eat. She was like destabilized. And then she was like, but Shaigo, you have a child? You have to have a child. Like, you know. So I told her that I wasn't, because I'm child free currently. So I told her that I didn't want to have a child. So her fear is like, everything, you know, everything is just going to end with me. She's not going to have an offspring, a grandchild, you know, and all that. So after some time, I tried, you know, I had a relationship that didn't work out. And after that, I told her that, I'm not going to do anything with any man anymore. That's like this. I want to marry 3 women. And if I want to marry a man, it's going to be just one.
How did she handle it?
She said that right now, it is my happiness that matters. That if I'm happy, she's happy. If I'm sad, she's sad. I'm her only child, right? And it's really emotional for the two of us that, you know, there's, if she doesn't accept me, that would mean that she would have no child to call her own and I would have nobody to call my mom. And it's literally just the two of us in this entire world. You understand? Right. So she said whatever decisions that I have to make, as long as I'm happy, and as long as it's not affecting the next person in any terrible way, that I'm good to go. And honestly, that was the wings I needed. That was the wings I didn't know I needed. Like, I have been out and proud before, but when my mom accepted me,
Change things.
Skyrocketed, man. Nobody can tell me bullshit anymore. Like, when they call her and tell, oh, we saw your new one on Facebook. She was doing this with this girl. She's doing for my picking.
My picking?
My picking now. She didn't, no problem. No problem now. I mean, you don't see, she thief anybody thing.
Right.
You don't see her say she thief anybody thing or she be criminal, she be armor, but she know they do, no problem, leave her like that for me. You understand? So it was so relieving. I had a lot of crying sessions. Like, after her acceptance, my freedom was just like off the roof. It was like, you know how it is when you know that you have the backing of family. You know that at least maybe one person in your family supports you, knows you for who you are. So no matter what happens from the outside, there's someone in your corner on the inside. So it was super amazing for me. And I think that's one of the rewards of coming out maybe to your family, if they're understanding enough, you know, and can accept you for who you are. But then the risks are insurmountable.
Exactly.
They're actually much more than the rewards of coming out. So I feel like one needs to really weigh
your options.
Like your options. You know your parents, you know your family members better than any other person, right?
Well, they might shock you.
I've always not cared about coming out the traditional way, the way you guys did. And I'm really super proud of you guys. For me, it's just about living. You know the way people talk about, oh, this was my first sexual experience. I can't remember one. It's just, everything just comes alive and I'm just living. And so as for family, I am not out or in on family in any way you want to look at it. It's just me living. Whether or not you know is your problem. Same way with my friends. But friends, I think I in the course of conversation, because family, you meet them. You just meet them, you don't choose them. But for my friends, I need to be sure that you're okay with this. I need to be sure you're comfortable with me. I need to be sure that you're accepting. So I like to let you know. But for friends and for families and church people, I'm a church boy, I'm still a church boy. It's just me being alive and doing my thing, and it's not your problem, really. So you don't have to accept me, just respect me.
So my own half in, half out situation. So I don't know, I think I have been out to like maybe friends or just like everyone around for about 6-7 years. So immediately I did that and I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm this. I said, oh guys, I tweeted it. that, oh guys, I think this is, and people are like, oh okay, nice. Then my in real life friends that I go to class with and everything, I was busy forming ally by that time. Before I came out, I was like, ally, I was trying to yes, I was trying to like, okay, let me educate people, let me say, until they said something one day about like queer people. I'm like, why would you say that? And they're like, oh, why are you arguing so hard? Are you one of them? And I say yes. And then the quietness was, the silence was loud.
You know, that's the power of I am.
Yeah.
You know, the moment you say I am, it comes with so much power. Imagine someone is, you know, trying to make you feel some kind of way uncomfortable about being queer. Then you look them in the face and say, oh, I am queer, I am gay.
Yeah.
It takes the power from them. Do you understand? It takes the power from that person. You're owning your shit at this moment. So the person is like, okay, he or she is queer, there's nothing I can do. Right? Because there's really often times, there's really nothing they can do to you until they begin to see that you are afraid. So they bank on that fear to perpetrate this wickedness.
Yes, but then the thing about the friends I had that time, it was, they seemed fine with it. You know how people tell you that, okay, it's not really my business, all that. But the comments they'll make, all these small comments, because if I post something about like trans people on my status, they would go and do all that helicopter joke, something. So all the friends I had at that period, I had to sweep them away. They had to go. So I was like immediately cut off from like the group I had built and everything. I had to find new ones. But then coming out to parents, the thing, I've never really, apart from the time I said it on Twitter, I've never really gone around with the intention of telling people that, oh, I am this, I am that.
Yeah.
I feel like people just find out. Maybe they know me from somewhere, they know someone that knows me. So I don't really go around announcing it and coming out to people. I feel like I'm around CJ's side, with the exception of that first time. You see me, you know. Or someone tells you about me, or that's it. So I don't really come out. And then when the reason why I've not actually come out to my parents, I don't think they will take it. Okay, so when I was staying at home and secondary school, I was younger, I loved watching Food Network, all these cooking shows. I know those type of baking shows, like gay men, lesbian women, their partners, they come together to bake a cake. And I'll be in the sitting room, I'll be watching. And my friends would just be making comments about the contestants. And I just started to like this year, like remove myself from the family bit by bit. Didn't come out to watch TV with them anymore. I couldn't be staying there. Never spoke to them like outside. I was always in my room, tried to remove myself so that when I come out and they do like the same thing to me, it wouldn't affect me as much. So just like I've been doing it for years. I don't call them if I'm in school, unless I don't call, I don't text. If I'm at home, I stay by myself. So I know that when that day comes, it's not.
It won't hurt as much?
Yes, it won't hurt as much.
Yeah, over time, coming out has come under a lot of mystery. It's like something a queer man or a queer person must do at a particular time in life. And I do not think, because when you say you're coming out to be accepted. Accepted for what? I am here.
I don't need
I
your
am
acceptance.
queer. I am alive. I am human. You should respect me enough. I do not need to come out to you, right? I understand the fact that people want people around them to know and understand, but to what end? Why do you need to know?
Acknowledgement.
At the moment,
I think it's acknowledgement.
I feel like
of
some
my
people need
reality
support.
and my identity.
Yeah.
you see, when you are not sure, I understand when you said they could shock you, family members could shock you, but there has to be, you know them. When you're not sure, you don't have to do this thing.
No, I'm not shocked in a negative way. Like when you think that when you have a really great relationship.
I honestly do not think that coming out is something that somebody must do. I think you just accept yourself, come out to yourself, embrace your reality, and you leave.
I feel that's
people will be fine.
I feel that's complex. I feel like that's open to however said individual feels. If you feel like you need to open up about your identity to your parents or your family and your friends, you can do that. You have every right to do that, and if you do not want to, you also have every right to the point of it is the choice of it. You get to choose if you want to open up to them about it or not. And no one should ever force.
Someone.
That's why they out
you.
people.
Yeah.
That's exactly because like that should never exist. And in the words of Dominic Jackson, right? I'm not here to be tolerated by you. I know that you have I am here to take up space, and you will respect me because I'm a human being. That's why I took that route you did. Because when you were talking about how you decided to remove yourself from like family spaces, since I was 11, I was already like uninterested. Like I was never like I was always in my room. If I'm in my room, I'm doing whatever they need me to do. I'm back in my room. They're like, oh, you're always on your phone. Literally, like even in 2022, I remember when I traveled and I was at my uncle's place. He called my mom to be complaining, and then she now called me like, oh, your uncle's like, and I was like, when I'm in your house, do you see me in the living room? Do I sit down and watch TV with you? Like, I am not interested in that. Like.
Exactly. And then,
sorry to cut you. You know that whole keto situation with my friend's friend? When he got back home, he couldn't tell anybody that this was why this happened to him. He had to lie that, he was armed robbery, one people trying to steal his phone, you know, this kind of thing. So when things, like when you find yourself in a situation, maybe that you're violently harassed or assaulted, who do you talk to?
You have to change the story to protect yourself.
Yes,
you can never
protect
be open
your
about
image
it.
so that nobody really guesses that is this thing that. So, which brings me to this point. What are the steps you think people should take before coming out? What is the importance of preparation? Because one has to. I mean, people who want to come out, though, not the ones who want to, live life as is.
I feel like the preparation depends on you.
Yeah,
exactly.
On your state, it depends on your.
I feel like you should just prioritize your safety. I feel like prioritizing your safety is very
first.
important. And
very, very
I like
important.
what Desmond said about like
Financial
if you know that
independence.
if financial dependency, right? Like for me, for example, I knew like very early that my father is funding my life. I need to very early remove I need to be able to
Create your life
throw my father's money away and like do whatever I need to do by myself. And very early on, I started looking for ways I could do that. And I know like that helped me a lot in like just being able to say, fuck you. Because like it's not like I'm out to my friends, but it's like I don't give a fuck. Like it comes out tomorrow, congrats! Now you know. Bye. Like it's not like I don't have a worry that like, oh my god, who's going to do this for me? Like I know like everything I need, I can provide for myself. Right? So prioritizing safety in that aspect, like financial, it's not even just financially, right?
Physical safety as
Be
well.
able to remove
Even
yourself
mental
from
safety.
Yes.
Even mental safety, like you should know, like you should be able to gauge, like, because also you cannot even this, like it's a burden on queer people, right? It's like having to do all these calculations.
I think it's too much. I think
It's just too much. It's too much.
Because like I could say you should try to gauge how far they were willing to go, but you cannot gauge how far they are willing to go. I feel like I can say bye to my father, and my father will plan for them to kidnap me, and they'll kidnap me.
No, actually, that actually happened to somebody, a Facebook friend of mine. She went to visit her mom. And like the mom emotionally like manipulated her to come visit. No, not that one. Yeah.
Your friends always.
That was TikTok.
My dear, if you know the amount of like queer situations people have texted me on Facebook for and about that I needed to maybe call one or two people to help. This girl's mom arranged for her to be kidnapped from the house and brutally raped by 8 men to convert her back to straighthood. Right? And she's currently in Yaba left because she has been unable to get past that trauma.
Awful.
And I even wanted to mention how entitled and how privileged a lot of cis heterosexual family members are. Like in the aspect of like the way they make demands of like you succeeding to them. Like I feel like it is so like it makes me so upset because it's like you have your choices that you make. I am not involved in any of those choices. And I do not demand that you change your choices for me to appreciate them. Like it's like it's your life, right? But like when I make my choices, then it's an issue. Because I remember like when the attitude thing happened to me, like a week later, my brother sent me a screenshot. Right, he sent me a screenshot of one of the posts that they have made, and the very interesting part about it, what he said to me, that what is going on? I don't understand what you are doing, and I don't know why you are doing it. But can you stop? I'm tired of all the people that message me to ask me questions. And I just said, it's not your photo going around. it was not you in this situation.
Your name is not
your name is not associated. You are not like you are literally you are not even fading into the background. You're not even in the background. Like you don't exist. You cease to exist on that plane. You are so uncomfortable by the questions people are asking you because they know you're in relation to me. But you've not thought, wait, what are you
going through? Yeah.
Like what? Like what? You that is your photo that is being pushed around. That is being spoken about like this. Like how are these like they never actually consider like, and I feel like that's such a traumatizing situation to be in because it's like they're so self-centered that they cannot look past their own biases to even see that like okay even on a basic level, right? It doesn't like okay, it doesn't matter. You don't have to become an ally, but like understand that like I will not choose to be constantly traumatized. Right. I will not choose to be constantly publicly disgraced, shamed, cut out of spaces, cut out of privileges and whatever. For what?
Yeah. Okay, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially in relation to what you said about your brother, and then what like Elena said about mothers. And then I feel like when you come out to your family, you need to be prepared. Physical safety is important because they will be the first to force those conversion practices on you. They will be the first to carry out for church deliverance and all of that and beat you and set up men for you. And I feel like that's a very important part. And I don't know how you can gauge people because people can't. Your parents, you will think your parents love you. To be honest, with Nigerian parents, they don't really show their love that way. Some people are lucky to think they are loved, but I can see how quickly my parents switch.
Yeah, exactly. I've never had issues with parents knowing or suspecting or telling me about it. In fact, it's never been spoken about in my family. But I've had issues. I've had cases in church. At some point in my life, some years ago, I got a letter from the then Archbishop of the area that I was, and I was suspended from church activities for 8 months. I wasn't told why exactly. I know there were issues, I kept having issues among the youth and all of that, and it was all about how they assume that I am, or that I was, rather. Then I would try to defend myself, verbally, physically, however, because you can't come for me, and I'll just let you be. I can't call away now. So then there were cases about me being troublesome and all of that. Then my then priest called me, tried to caution me, and of course I told him that I am not the problem. Then the next week, I got to church from the catechists. I was summoned, I was given a letter, and it didn't mean I should stop coming to church. I mean, this is in their own defense, but it means that all the activities I was participating in, I must quit till further notice. And about 8 months later, I was called to be told that, okay, I could go back to these things. And imagine being removed from the presence of that God. There's a faith, there's somebody you claim is a mystery and you don't see that we worship. And you are deciding for this person who you think should worship him within a specific time.
Wake it up.
So it just
wake it up.
Yes. It just goes across, people just wake up and decide, say things and how they claim you should. I don't know. It's just so crazy, really. When you're thinking about it now, it's just so sad that even within religion, you find people deciding for you.
Libar, like that expectation, the entitlement thing you were talking about. I had an uncle, a family member who messaged me. This is somebody who doesn't know I am alive. Suddenly messaging me out of nowhere and telling me that I am disgracing the family name.
They like that. They like that. African relatives, African parents.
That's how I disgrace and that anytime I come to the village, they are going to deal with me. They're going to have a family meeting. They're going to... And I said, but look at yourself, look at me now. You say you're a pastor, but you've done more evil deeds than all of us in this family combined. Only you, rapist, only you this, only you that. Me, because I am a nudist and I am openly bisexual, I am now bringing embarrassment to the family name. Check my name now. Your family name is not in my name. I had already dropped it.
That's something I did too.
I did it way before I even came out because I didn't want anybody to come at me and say, okay, so because the entire family people know me and then went to be a part of this family. Yeah. What about me? What about what I'm going through? What about the fact that people are just posting my pictures up and down and calling me names? You didn't even care to say, oh, how are you? How are you coping in Lagos? These are people who don't even care if I have eaten, if I'm alive, if I'm well-to-do, if I have a job. But you suddenly have what to say about my choices, about my sexuality. That is absolutely none of your business. Come off it. So, like, this thing, the gaslighting, the emotional manipulation, specifically from family members.
Yes, and on gaslighting and emotional manipulation, I feel like something that needs to be said is a tendency for you to want to comply or participate in like the things they ask of you because you feel like you owe them. Right?
And they're quick to remind you that you owe them.
They're going to push to you that, oh, you owe us. And like one of the things I used to fear myself was just the fact that I did not choose you. You did not have to have a child. I was involved in adoption. You didn't have to pick me. You could there were plenty of babies to pick.
Yes, exactly. And then on that, they will just come with like, is it that disgrace in the family name after all I've done for you, or what did I do to deserve this?
Oh, you did a lot, so.
And it's like you are now a curse on them.
Yeah,
you were not like, why is this now about you? How does
they conveniently remove you
from
the equation of your business?
Like,
and put themselves, replace you with themselves. And this now brings me to, like, how do you think people should cope with cutting off unsupportive friends and family? Because I feel like before, it's tough. It is so tough. It is. People you've known most of your life, people you've shared moments with, suddenly are seeing you like the devil with horns because, oh, you're bisexual, you're gay. How can we cope? Because not everybody is like fluent or strong enough to start finding community before cutting off family. Some people, they just had to cut off abruptly because of a situation.
Imagine you're outed.
Yes, exactly.
You do not plan for that.
So how do we cope with cutting off unsupportive friends and family?
I feel like
when it's friends with me, I cut off friends.
I cut off friends. I cut off friends.
Then family.
How
do you cut off friends?
I feel like I've from a very early stage in my life dissociated from my family. It was as early as 6 that I knew I wanted nothing to do with my father's family, like my biological father's family. I was as early as 6. I was aware that these people are full of shit. I will not be involved. I will not be participating, right? And like the older I got, and even like at that point in time, I felt like I had my mom or my moms, right? Because I felt like we had better relationship, like we had conversations and everything. And one very interesting thing about my family is that, like, up until I started to come into myself, there was never really an issue. Like, my earliest interactions with like femphobia and all of that was like secondary school. Because like we moved a lot when I was a child, and like all I really had was like my family, and like my grandmother would come and perform for her friends. She'd be like, give me that Shakira, like give me that Shakira, like I want to see that, right? And it's like, okay, that was cute, like, and it was a joke, but like now I cannot be Shakira again. What changed?
What changed?
They said age limits.
What changed?
Yeah, what changed is that
she's a big exactly.
And it's like, so for me, I just like I've removed myself from a lot of. I've emotionally distanced myself. I have willingly, like, chosen to not participate in a lot of things that I know would create a stronger bond. So when everything is eventually cut off, it doesn't affect me as much. Like I've gone.
That's the same route I use, because I knew that I'll need to prepare myself, and I feel like, okay, I did have a little bit of an awakening, because from when the homophobia started towards people they didn't know, and then from when like they found out that I was 8 years, I feel like that was equivalent to the question. What I saw from them, the other side I saw for them, I was like, okay, I removed myself further. From them. I was like, oh, so you people can be like this. It's okay. Like, I learned a lot about my parents that time, that they will not support you. Yeah. At least, I feel like, man, like, you don't believe in God, something. There was like threats. There was like forcing me to do stuff. I was like, okay, I've gotten it. Right now, they've pretty much left me. But I remember, They don't
Yeah.
remember.
They don't
remember.
They've not forgotten, no.
They've
They'll weaponize it against you in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
my other family members do, my relatives do, are always asking me about it later. But then they pretty much left it. But I still remember how they acted, and I still remember how much of a shock it was to me then that this would be such a big deal. I feel like because of me, my entire family pivoted into being more religious than they were, because they are like,
They're trying to pray that demon
we
out of you.
can't let you affect the rest because I'm the oldest. We can't let you affect the rest.
Something similar happened to me, because I could very conveniently say that like the older I got, the more religious my father was, and the less religious my mom was. My mom has still not stepped into a church since 2017. Wow. So as far as maybe now that I'm not in communication, because I'm sure that like it may have changed, but I know that she was not going to church. She was not getting involved. But last year when I was in their house, I don't know what she went to look for in my wardrobe. I was not in the room. I don't know what she went to look for in my wardrobe. I don't know what she was looking for. I don't know what she kept there. She went to go and bring
Parents snoop around.
She went, and she went to find one of my dresses. And I was like, how did you get there? How did you catch it? Like, why are you there? And like I calculated, I was like, oh god, this is about to be such a big mess. I cannot handle this. So I gassed it out. See, fight back. I'm sorry. Every emotional tactic they use against you, use it back. I got it. I was like, oh, that's for my friend. We did our lunch together. I know I got there. Probably a mistake. I've not seen that before.
Oh my god.
And she was pushing. I was like, whatever you are projecting is you. You're thinking it. You're trying to make it my reality. It's not my reality. You need to think about it.
I did that for my parents.
I went to meet my father. I was like, your wife is doing it again.
Your wife is doing it again.
I was like, this one, I have to protect myself. I am like. And that's it, like, you have to be ready for war. Like, it's such a tough thing to have to do, but you always have to be ready to weaponize as many things as they're going to weaponize against you. Because trust me, when it comes to it, they're going to do it.
They do it, yeah.
They do it.
And they'll not blame.
What about people that are not as strong? There's a lot of, people are going through a lot. And this happens. What becomes of them?
I just feel like some people decide to like wait until like their
they're
parents.
in a better position.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking about in a case where like the mom suddenly finds your
I
dress.
had two options.
Exactly, and they're not able to say something to defend themselves. And usually, most time, family is all we've got.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they become homeless. No place to go. They're thrown out, and no source of livelihood. So what becomes of them? I'm worried.
Yeah, like that's the situation. Like that's what happens every single day. Someone is getting outed. Someone is getting homeless. Someone is getting thrown out. Someone is like. Yeah.
That's why
getting sent to
that's why
all this compassion.
How we as a community
need to help each other.
As much as we can. Like any resources.
There are resources, but like it can't possibly reach everybody. And then not everyone going through that is aware. So like
exactly,
of course,
people are trying, but then we can't possibly build enough resources to accommodate everyone. It needs to stop at the root, because as you're helping someone, 15 more people are coming together,
at the same time.
And we don't have like infinite resources to help people. So I just really need to cut it off at the roots. Like we need to talk to parents. We need to be louder than the pastors. We need to be louder than the religious leaders or all the biases. The biases they have in their. Like,
that's why I appreciate.
As we are loud verbally, they are loud financially.
So there's an initiative. There's host the family and friends where they like educate like family and friends of queer people to give.
But I feel like
teach them how to be better allies practically.
But I feel like you can only like start there if your parents are already
open to it.
Because I was thinking about if I just drive my parents there, but then I don't know. I cannot inflict my mother on anyone.
You know what? You can just drop.
I cannot inflict my mother on anyone.
No, I can't inflict my mother on anyone.
Oh my god! Please cut the conversation.
Like,
so real.
I actually cannot inflict my mother on other people. Really? Nigerian parents actually do not love their children unconditionally.
They do not.
It's not unconditional.
The
love is very conditional.
Love is very conditional.
Love is very conditional, and it has conditions.
There's nothing
and they're loud about the conditions.
Very strict.
They're very clear about the conditions.
Ideas of
you must do well in school. You must pass your exams. You must make money. You must dress
particular way.
And one of the exhausting things about it is that it doesn't matter how amazing you are.
My God.
You can be the best child.
When I used to live with my parents, there is nothing that a parent would expect of a child in terms of success that I did not give to them. Academic success, everything. Like I was an all-rounder. Like literally, when I was home, everybody gave me. Like every time we had to eat, it was menu because everybody knows that when I'm home, if you want to eat this, I'm cooking it for you. If you want to eat this, I'm cooking it for you. If my mother is home, whatever she cooks, everybody has to take it. And it's like all of that, just like
out the window.
Just out like
Disappeared.
as per what, like it's and it's so traumatizing because like you see all the ways you offer care. And just like they treat you, like it now makes you feel like it's like you only exist for their servitude.
Yes.
Like you have to like.
That's why
serve
a lot of
them
parents have kids.
Constantly,
it's all about
you always have to be an
them.
extension of your like. And one of the issues I had even before I got to understand myself as a queer person was just like explain to my parents that you are you, I am not.
Yeah.
I am not an extension.
Of
I would
you.
not be.
Like we're different people.
Sorry,
We're
like, you're going to be
individuals.
angry a lot, very very angry, and like I don't know like.
And then I think that parents don't really, like what you said about not being unconditional, they are quick to withdraw that. I can't do that by myself. I can't comprehend it that like a child would like begin and you just like kick them out.
The child you brought to
Like
this world.
for how many years they've stayed with you and you were just like, oh, that's not my child anymore. Like
Yeah, coming from somebody whose father disowned. It was
Okay.
very.
I've been threatened with disownment.
Well, technically, if
Yeah,
I to be honest, I've actually been thrown out
fine.
once before.
It's on your back,
guys.
don't worry.
I was thrown out when I was 7 years old.
They're sharing
By
it.
my mom, she packed my load and she was like, bye bitch. She was like, she packed on my load, she gave me trust money that I should go and find my grandfather.
What transport
That I'm
money?
not living with her anymore. For like, I think it was like morning to night. And then she was like, oh, you're still here, you're coming inside.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
So it's very abusive.
It is.
It's
Yes.
very, I feel like a lot of parents are very abusive.
They are.
And
So-
Nigerian parents.
You now being
specifically.
so exactly.
Yeah,
So you now
yeah,
being
yeah.
like you now going out of the norm just presents an opportunity for them to dump on you.
Yeah.
It's like they have all of these power that they think they have that they
Yeah.
can exert, and then you now
Sometimes they
present
have,
to
sometimes
them.
they have that power. It's not they think.
It's
No,
just for,
yeah,
it's
they
just
do
funny
have
that I am
power.
just where I am. You did what you did and brought me here, and you are still hating me. Like you had the option of not bringing me here.
how do you have a child and you're annoyed about the type of child that you are?
Actually, my mom packed my bags though. Like I remember it's like she packed my bag, she locked the gate, she was like, bye. She was like, she gave me transfer money, she was like, find
At
your
7.
grandfather's house.
Before we round up this episode, what advice can we give queer people out there who want to get out of the closet?
See, first of all, closet is not a beautiful place. Closet is choky.
Yeah.
Closet is hot. Closet might have cockroaches and rats.
Well,
Closet is not a beautiful place to stay. So in all that you do, find a space to breathe. There
Find
has to be-
community.
Find community. Find a space to
Find
breathe. Whether you want to
two
come out
friends.
the way Desmond, all of you guys came out, just
I
find a
don't come
way.
out, so I'm deal.
Okay, wherever you are, find a way to breathe. There's no traditional way of doing these things.
Yeah.
Just do you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then have a safety net. Please
Yeah.
find like, even if it's two queer friends you have, even if it's someone you can talk to at that moment.
Yeah.
For you to call someone and be like, okay, this is what is happening. Find someone to talk to. Before, like, you can't come out without any person you know in community, nobody, you know, nothing to turn to
When you
because
just disappear.
You can't just come out because you washed pose.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
people actually do that.
I'm not trying.
I watch clothes actually.
I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but like just so, like we can have some because it's a very dark and like emotional episode.
Yeah.
While you're in the closet, work on your outfits,
Yeah. What kind of personality?
work on that
Please.
fashion, character development.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm sorry, but you can apart from working on personality, what kind of sense of self-worth?
Exactly.
Yes.
Have a sense
Yeah.
of self-worth because
Self-esteem.
when you come out, I'm sorry, but your parents will say,
We'll try to
likely
degrade
say
you.
awful
They'll try to
things.
degrade
So
you.
have a sense of self-worth
yeah.
for
Yes.
yourself.
So when you have that
Yeah.
strong sense of self and you have a strong self-esteem,
Exactly, you can
the
fight
ways
back.
they try to degrade you, the ways the public shaming or anything would affect you will not be as bad as if you
should.
did not
Really.
like. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of this episode.
Yeah, bye.